So let's go back in time a little bit because, like I mentioned a little earlier in this video, everybody's super familiar with your channel. But so when did you start, your Pokemon journey from more of a business aspect and you talked about Popper Blastoise as being your business partner. When did you guys say, okay, you know what? I think we need to set up some distributor agreements, or I'm going to guess at the very beginning, one distributor agreement. Let's get some product. We'll create a website. We'll do all this. What was the deciding factor there? Because I feel like when you were doing that, setting up the very early business, not everybody was out there doing it. It wasn't like the 2020 Mania where everybody was just like, I need to sell Pokemon cards this week. It wasn't like that. So can we go back in time just a little bit?
It was literally the worst decision ever. Like, anybody will tell you when I started, Danny, you're making the biggest mistake of your life. And I did. I mean, it probably was. I was a giant, closet nerd when I was a child. Like, I loved Pokemon. I loved Yu-Gi-Oh! I loved trading card games, but I wouldn't tell anybody that, right? Like, it was something that was really taboo. So I would go to school and I would live my jock life and I'd be like, yeah, I love basketball and I love baseball, and I'd talk to my friends about sports. Then I'd come home and I'd sit on PokeGym and I'd sit on PTCO and I'd sit on different website forums and Pojo and go into chat rooms and talk to all of my friends who lived around the world that collected Pokemon cards for literally hours at night. And that would be my life. And I did that for a long time and just loved Pokemon. And then finally, when like EX Ruby Sapphire came out, I was like, okay, I don't like, these forums are dying a little bit. I'm losing my friends there. I have no actual in real life friends. Maybe I didn't anyways, but in real life friends who play Pokemon or care about Pokemon. So I'm going to back off a little bit. I'll do an actual work. I'll get an actual job, like whatever. And I did that for like 4 years until I was like, I miss Pokemon. I miss Pokemon so much. I ended up selling my entire collection for the dumbest reason. I was like, well, not the dumbest reason, I was getting married, but dumbest reason is like, I bulked everything out. I just put everything on eBay, like in one picture, and you're just like, oh, look at all these ultra rares. I've got all these EX Ruby Sapphire EX cards. You can get Lapras EX, all these great cards. It got like $400 and like
in there, a lot of good
47 bids. And I was like, oh, this sucks. This is worth way more than that. That's too bad. So I'm putting it all in the box and shipping it out. And one day I was like, I really miss Pokemon. And this was like 2014 or so, 2015. And I was like, I think I'm going to try and buy some Pokemon cards again. I went on eBay and I just tried to research Pokemon cards because I had been out of the game for a few years and just started buying up collections on eBay, sorting through them, learning the game a lot better. And then once I found Facebook existed, because I was late to the Facebook game, and there were groups on Facebook of competitive players and people who traded cards and sold cards and bought cards. I was like, oh, I can learn how to play the game. And there was local people who played the game and they were all my age. So I didn't feel like a complete loser because I thought it was just going to be a bunch of kids if I went to like a local Pokemon league. And I learned a lot more information about it and started researching. And I was like, holy cow, this at the time it was like Max Potion and N. There were uncommon cards that were selling $4 to $5 a piece. And I was like, wow, that's a lot for an uncommon card that you can just pull out of a booster pack. I was like, I found a ton of those just in bulk collections. And I was like, well, there's something here. Maybe there's something here. So I was like, maybe I can make a little extra money that can kind of help me with my competitive play habits. Like if I buy collections on eBay, I can kind of sort through and pull out those good cards that sell for $4 to $5 a piece as an uncommon, sell those, and then kind of bulk out the rest of them. I started doing bulk lots on my own, started learning that. And I was like, wow, this is really, really interesting. And for that, I got to travel around to different events. I could go to states, I could go to cities, I could play, and then meet more people in the community. And then 1 year after I kind of was like, okay, I'm going to focus more on regional activity this year. Things kind of fell apart for some like personal health reasons, but I met somebody who was very interested in forming a business, and he saw like me online frequently on Facebook selling cards and buying cards and doing stuff. So he was like, hey, we should do a business together. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm worried about, like, I don't trust a whole lot of people, like working with other people. It ended up being like, okay, well, let's do it. And this was right before, oh my goodness, when did so Steam Siege, Breakthrough, Breakpoint, it was right around Breakthrough, Breakpoint where we got distribution. So that's when I started applying with distributors.
Right, pretty much at the end of XY then, right?
Right. So Breakthrough, Breakpoint were rough. Steam, super rough. Fates Collide was rough. And then Evolutions was, people think that Evolutions was great. Evolutions was rough. Like it was rough when it first came out. It was everywhere. It was $100. It was
It's still
$80 a box. $80 a box, $85 a box. You couldn't give it away. It was in every collection box, every tin, everything. And we made no money. We made
And the
nothing.
beginning of Sun and Moon didn't really help you out much better after that.
No,
You know?
it was terrible because Pokemon Go came out. Everybody and their mother was getting back into Pokemon. Regional events were taking off like crazy. It was so great, but all of a sudden bulk crashed. Guys, you used to be able to sell a common, uncommon card for 6-7 cents bulk, 6 to 7 cents. And then Guardians Rising came out. People were doing 1,500 bulk for a booster box, and the market just crashed because it flooded with Pokemon Go people who wanted to get back into the game. Bulk market crashed. But we got into distribution around breakthrough breakpoint era. So we had established a good relationship already with the distributor, and nobody predicted what happened in 2019, 2020 to happen, where Pokemon blew up. But because I already had that existing relationship with distribution, it definitely helped long term, moving forward.